Hello, everybody, and welcome to Litter Media Live Special Edition. I'm your host, Mike Smith, and we're joined today by DJ Krivak and Isiah Krivak of J216 Food Ministry. We'll be talking about what they're doing, what they've been doing for the last several years, and the not only the outreach that they have to our community, but the help that they need from a lot of us to help them continue what they're doing. Our special edition brought to you today by Horizon Connects. Back with DJ and Isiah right after this.
This is Big Chillicothe. Horizon's 100% fiber internet service is coming to your area. Call 740-772-8331 or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
Back with DJ and Isiah Krivak. DJ is the one in the middle, Isiah on the outside. Guys, we appreciate your coming in to be with us today.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
First of all, give us a little bit of a history lesson on J216.
James chapter 2, verse 16. Somebody asks for prayer, needs some help. You don't just say yes and pray for them and send them on their way. You try to send or meet that need as well as pray for them. So see the need, meet the need has become our motto. We've been at this for roughly 6 years, 5 years connected with Mid-Ohio Food Bank out of Grove City. It's just grown. We went from 800 square foot building to 3,600 square foot building to that 3,600 plus 4 reefer trailers sitting out back, holding dry goods as well as frozen goods. So it's definitely grown and reaching a lot of different people. Currently, we're reaching people in 18 counties, approximately 500 households per week, getting food out of little old Bainbridge, Ohio.
So when it started, it was pretty much in that immediate area, but as time has gone, you have reached out, and it's not only people, and as you can see in the background of our shot here, this is video that J216 sent us, a line of people waiting for food, but you also deliver to some folks who can't get in line like that.
Yes, we have different delivery teams that are just made up of different individuals out of different churches and different groups and organizations that help us deliver to those shut-ins or disabled people. Even have one couple that delivers out to the VA, to the Freedom Hall. Take some food out there as well. So it just opens the door to see other needs as well, because you're at the home. They may need some other things, other assistances, and gives you the opportunity to speak with them privately in their comforts of their own home.
Again, some of the video that you see in the background is on the inside of the operation. And on this particular day, DJ, you had a lot of volunteers, and many of them were young people like your son, Isiah.
We at different times we'll have football teams, basketball teams, girls basketball has come over and helped us from some of the schools. This particular day, we had a 4-H group out of the Huntington Township area. Came over and gave us a hand. They split up. They came 1 week as the younger half, and then the following week, 2 weeks later, they came as the older group. Did some amazing things. They helped us a lot, cleaned up really well, and just made the day a lot funner and more energetic because of all the kids moving around. Definitely appreciate when the younger ones are there.
Isiah, I have a feeling you're probably there more than just once in a while.
Yeah.
How much do you get a chance to get in there and help out?
Sometimes 7 days a week. It just depends if I'm out of school, not in sports. But when I'm not, I'm there.
Now, you said you're a junior at Paint Valley.
Yes.
And you're on the wrestling team.
Yes.
So you're trying to balance studies, sports, and then help out as well.
Yes. And a job.
Yeah, Dairy Queen. He works Dairy Queen.
And a job. Wow. You're a busy guy. You're busier than me. I know with a lot of the things that you see, even at school, you see the need firsthand even in the schools, don't you?
Yes. There's many kids that you know personally, but sometimes kids are not outgoing to physically ask. So I know a lot of my buddies, I've been to their houses and see what they need, and I can just whisper to my dad and say who needs it.
Yeah. That's something that I'm sure you've seen over the years, DJ, I know I have, where we have people in our congregation, they may be among the neediest, but a lot of times they won't ask for help.
They won't ask at all. That was a benefit. A positive that come out of COVID is the schools were shut down, so I had a lot of teachers from Paint Valley that would come in and deliver, and it kind of opened their eyes up to why that child really acts the way they do in their classroom, because they got to see the home and they got to interact with them on a more personal basis. So it just helped them grow, as well as the student then have more trust in their teacher because they actually cared and they felt that love and that commitment. So like he said, sometimes, some of these kids will show up, and I'll make sure when they leave, not to embarrass anybody, make sure they leave with a box, a little extra or something to help them out. There again, I have this, I'm getting a little older, so I have that little grandpa mentality, which I have a lot of grandkids now. Any kid that ever comes in there and works, they're guaranteed to leave with candy and treats and snacks just because.
I know with the story that we did on littermedia.com, which, again, you can go to that story right now and take a look at it, when you reached out to us back in December, because of inflation, everybody sees it when they go to the grocery store. You have the same issues in trying to buy food to help these folks.
Yeah, it's gotten really pricey. I mean, you think, well, you're just giving free food and it's state or federal funded, and that's not the case. We're run strictly off of donations. So when the diesel prices go up, well, my reefer trailers run off of diesel fuel. All my transportation vehicles run off of diesel fuel. So that was a huge increase there. We also noticed even with heating the building, the propane, it went up in cost. In those cold days, we used even more propane. So all of our costs and expenses have went up. Even some of the expenses through Mid-Ohio have went up, on purchasing foods. The Lord's blessed us, and we've kept that cost in that area down really, really well. But everything else has went up. Everybody in the operation is totally volunteers. The delivery teams are using their time, their gas, their vehicles. No one gets paid. So that is one expense we don't have, but all the others have continually climbed especially within the last year and a half, just like for everyone else. There again, donations have shrank because businesses as well as individuals don't have as much to give out. I even noticed some of the donations on food drive stuff has went way down from what it was in past years. It was nothing to pull up and get 20 to 30,000 pounds of food drive type foods, canned foods and different things. This year it's been a lot harder struggle to get that because it's just not available. One
thing we want to make clear is many of the counties that we are speaking to right now here at Litter Media have different types of food pantries. Even in Ross County, there's the Good Samaritan Food Pantry. Pickaway County, a number of these have. It's not that J216's in any kind of a competition. You're just one more arm reaching out to help.
Yeah, and we all work together. If I have a little overload of things, I try to share it out other places. There's times where I've gotten bins of some clothing or blankets or even shower needs, hygiene products, and I've kind of bumped them to different places. We've gave stuff to Elizabeth Hope in the past, Christina and Adam, Arredondo. We've kind of throwed stuff over their way. Anything to help anybody, because that's the whole idea. See a need and try to meet that need. If we can't meet it, try to point them to somewhere. Even United Way, we do a lot of things with the United Way. They use our building once a month for a produce drop, as well as, we refer them over there because they give us different papers for things that they're doing. The tax preparation thing they're doing now, we hand those papers out. Just if we all work together, more things get accomplished.
So as you are speaking to our audience, as with the story that we did back in December, you need more help as far as donations, but what's the best way to give? And before you answer that, I know that Dan and I, for many years when we were on the radio, we did a food drive every year. And it got to the point where they were telling us instead of bringing non-perishable foods, it's actually more economical to bring cash donations because you can buy those things cheaper than the equivalent value of that non-perishable.
Yes, I actually had a very, very close friend of mine. He had went to Aldi's, I believe it was, and bought a whole truck full of canned foods and brought them back and donated them in. And he said, said, here's, I got these for you. I figured that would help out. And he said, no, where exactly do you get, is this how you normally get food? So I opened up my app and showed him the grocery store that I use through Mid-Ohio Food Collective, and he was amazed because what he spent on that bit of canned foods, I could have got a semi-load for. Wow. So the buying power is better up there. Yeah. They take care of us, so we're able to take care of everybody else.
Also, in light of the donation, you were telling me earlier that you have now gotten that nonprofit status, so any cash donation that's made to J216, that's tax deductible.
Yes. We used to fall under a 501c3 religious organization, which during COVID we lost a lot of possibilities because I had politicians calling wanting to donate money, but they couldn't because of the rules, the laws. So now we are the 501c3 charity. So we're kind of set up just like United Way or some of the other ones. So yes, now it is all tax deductible, and it opens up a lot more doors as well.
And so, what's the best way to get that donation to you?
It could be direct mailed to P.O. Box 6, Bainbridge, Ohio 45612. They could also go on the J216.net website. There's a donate button there. It takes credit cards or PayPal. There's several different ways on that link that's on there. Also on Facebook, you can go through Facebook on J216 Ministries, and it'll bump you over to the website and still do it that way. For local people, some of them just walk right into Rocco Brown Bank and just, say, I want to donate, and they'll put it right in the account.
Obviously, the financial donation to help J216 is important, but the volunteerism is also important. And before we go back to Dad to wrap up, Isiah, you being a teenager, we've shown pictures of teenagers that have volunteered. Maybe you want to issue a challenge to groups out there that are your age to come on out and help.
Yeah, and I just want to mention our football team. They showed up in past years, and they made it a game to see how fast they could get the cars out.
That's interesting, yeah.
They would try to get the cars to pull through the drive-thru without stopping, just to make the game go along. So it's not work;
it's fun.
They're having fun.
Yeah, and it can be fun. I know the food drive. Dan and I could tell stories. We could write a book about the fun that we had each year doing that out there.
We really enjoy. I mean, the kids. It's nothing to pull up and see. Maybe in the summer, little squirt guns squirting around, or every now and then when you open up a box and there's stuff in it, there's Nerf guns. It's going to happen. There's somebody in there shooting a Nerf gun. You get to see a little bit of wrestling around and a little horseplay. And everybody comes in there enjoying what they're doing. They want to be there. Even some of the kids that maybe came in because mom and dad brought them along, they're having a blast and wanting to come back another time. That was one thing with that group. The younger ones from that 4-H group went back and had their 4-H meeting and talked about it so much. The older ones wanted to come.
Wow.
And then they've already set up to come back again. So
contagious, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a lot of fun to help people. It really is. It makes you feel good all over when you can help somebody in a time of need.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, do they need to they probably should, just so you'll know they're coming or expecting them, or what?
Actually, I've always just kind of left that in God's hands.
Okay.
If I worried about it, I'd be grayer than what I am now. Because there's moments I'm going, okay, I know he's gone for a wrestling meet. My son-in-law's gone. I know this one's not going to be there, or this one's out sick. And God fills in the gap. Amen. People just show up every time. So I've learned not to worry about it. I would never really have lined it up. The 4-H groups will let us know. definitely a football team because you can get slightly overwhelmed
yeah.
when the whole team shows up. But we do need volunteers. We really do. And we definitely reach out to the different churches and different groups to, send people our way to get involved, because a lot of times we end up delivering around your church. People are coming from Hillsborough to Bainbridge to go to Chillicothe or to one of the other counties to deliver around that church, whereas it would be nice that they could come and do that and reach those right in their neighborhood. It's the easiest way to get out and witness and reach people is bring them some food.
Absolutely.
Because we all like to eat.
I know I do. That's some of the best work I do. So in wrapping up, what days do you distribute food, and what time and the location in case somebody wants to not only get help but come and give some help?
Currently, I do some delivery teams and stuff on Wednesdays. I have a couple of different groups and groups of people that deliver for me on that day. Put a shout out also to the Lighthouse boys. They come over on Wednesdays and also help do some community service and bag up different canned food. So I have that ready for Saturday. And then on Friday, there's some other delivery teams that come in. But my main bulk of people, like in the video, they come in on Saturdays. I get there at about 5 a.m. I know not everybody's early riser like me, but I get there at 5 a.m. and they're already lined up out back of the building. Typically by 6, I get some delivery teams starting to come through. By 7, I try to start the public line to come through. So anytime really at that 7-ish time on up to about 11:30, we hang the rope and get those final people through and try to clean up the building a little bit. After we're done, any of that little span right there, a lot happens. I mean, you figure 500 some households have come through that line in that short little window of time. Anything they're prepping, like you saw people in the video bagging up dry goods, that's what I'll use the following week. So I'm always 1 week ahead on dry goods. All the frozens come in that week and go out that week. So we try to keep things moving.
And you said typically whoever stops in to take some food, it usually lasts about a week?
Yeah, there's about, we were talking about it earlier, the boxes this past week had spiral sliced hams. Some of them had pork butts in it, prime rib roast. There was a lot of really good frozen meat. Meats is a very expensive item next to milk and eggs right now, which there again, we gave out milk this past week. It should last a normal family of 4. They can stretch that out for the week and make it on to the next thing if they prepare their meals. An older person could stretch that out. So some of my older clients that come in will come in maybe once or twice a month, just because they don't need as much.
Right.
And they're very good about preserving foods. They'll carry it and can it and carry it over for another day. But yeah, it's on average, I'd say this past week, those boxes were probably 40 some odd pounds on the boxes you see in the pictures on the video, plus the other goods that go along with that. You're talking $80 to $100 worth of groceries if you went to one of the local stores and purchased it. So.
Well, God bless you guys and what you've been doing for so many years and continue to do. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you'll step up and as the Lord so leads and help them help other people. And maybe you want to show up not only with a financial donation, but maybe you want to show up and put some dirt under your nails, so to speak, get some work in and volunteer. And one last time on how to get a hold of you on the website.
At J216.net, you can go on there. You can use the Facebook Messenger for J216 Ministries. And also, like I said, you can come right to the building itself, and just walk in. You're more than welcome to show up and just pitch in. We enjoy it.
Be prepared to be blessed when you do so as well.
Yeah, you definitely, when you walk in, and don't want to kind of rat her out. I won't point her out on the video or anything. There's one particular lady, I love her to death. She's 89 years old. She delivers 3 routes in Highland County. So she drives from the Hillsborough area down to Bainbridge. She delivers a total of 3 routes for the week. She's amazing. And it'll encourage you to see her working that building. You'll get up and do something.
Again, our guests today on this Litter Media Special Edition, DJ and Isiah Krivak of J216 Food Ministry. They've been our guests today on Litter Media Special Edition, brought to you by Horizon Connects. Don't forget to join Dan Ramey and I for our regular weekday show coming up at about 11 o'clock today on Litter Media Live. I'm Mike Smith.